How are you? Welcome. Welcome, everyone, to another wonderful episode of VPR Radio. I'm blessed to be here with my partner, DJFMI. I'm your girl, Qianathegoddess. Welcome on in. Partner, how you feeling?
What's going on, Key?
Partner, what's going on?
Hey, man, all right, to keep it a bean with that, I got contacted by Poison. You know, me and Poison be running around doing our
Yep.
thing. And we have a few festivals this summer, so I'm like, I gotta get right, VPR. I gotta get
I
back sturdy.
see
You know
you,
what I'm saying?
partner.
So
I see you. They
sit-ups every day.
box like, what's up with your partner? Like they always do. I'm like, you better hit him up.
Yeah.
Don't go through me.
No. Especially over the holidays. Shout out to everybody celebrating July 4th. Kiana, how did you celebrate your July 4th?
I'm not patriotic, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, so,
I
yeah.
had to sit there and remind a few people. I'm just like, it feels great to be in America and light a L in your own house.
Yeah.
And you get, and just enjoy that without having,
Yes.
the
I
thought looming over your mind.
I appreciate the freedoms that we have, but I would not ever
But
call
we still
myself
got to get some get
patriotic.
back.
Right. We have a lot to go, and our history of our journey into America is not a pretty one,
Yeah.
right? So there's a lot of pain mixed with that. You know what I'm saying? In the celebration of that, because I think that there are two completely different ways of looking at that situation. And
It really,
unless, you are a person of color, you can't reflect on the other side. So
and that's what I always think to myself during July 4th, but I always try to remind people. I'm just like, hey, man, with the little liberties that we do have
right. I
for
agree.
certain people, I'm
Hmm.
just going to take advantage of it and enjoy that while I can, while being in here.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, partner. Like,
But
I don't take any day or any blessing or advantage that we have for granted, right? And we know at the end of the day that no matter what situation we're in, and even what we experience when it comes to hardships, it could be so much worse, right? Like, we look at other corners of the world or even here, and people go through hardships. So I am so much about that gratitude and making sure that, I'm appreciative every day and of everything that I have, and never take that for granted. And the liberties that we do have, I pass on to my children so that they can get every opportunity possible to do their best and break these generational curses.
yeah, Kiana, and I agree. Also, I want to take time out, VPR, to
Mhm.
send out our hearts. We've said this many times, to send out our
Okay.
hearts to the shooting victims in Baltimore.
Um,
If you are not too familiar with the what happened, I think 28 people were shot and two passed
what?
away.
Wow.
Wow. I think there were two gunmen, also three guns. So they're still, investigating everything. But I just want to throw another fact out there, VPR. I do this every month, 2 months, not because it brings me anything. It's just to remind you of this. So here's a surprising fact, VPR. At least 340 mass shootings have happened in the U.S. so far this year, according to the Gun Violence Archive, which defines a mass shooting as a shooting incident with 4 or more injuries or deaths. So that is always a sobering thought.
Yeah.
We throughout this year we have seen many mass shootings where it deals with children,
Every year,
women, men.
like this has been nonstop, especially in like large places, malls, schools. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we have to, as a country, right, as we're celebrating our history, look at what is going wrong, because you can look at countries that have the same amount of people per capita and do not have these issues with gun violence, and especially with mass shootings, right? So what is the problem here in America that we're constantly perpetuating this level of violence and allowing guns to go into the hands of people that are reckless?
I'm at a point, VPR, where I'm tired of our politicians and elected
Yeah.
officials just saying we send hearts and condolences and and different things like that, even though it comes
Mhm.
off as sincere. We're not making any changes that can impact the lives that are being lost, and all you're saying is sorry to these parents.
Right.
And I've just had enough, so I just had to bring that to your attention today, VPR. Another topic that really shocked me, Kiana, and we always talk about this, VPR. If you know anything about DJFMI and VPR Radio, Qianathegoddess, we like to get into numbers, okay? And
Mhm.
everything in this industry is a numbers game. So one of the biggest artists on this planet at the moment, I would say, is Coil Ray. A lot of people know Coil Ray.
Okay, for sure.
She just recently released her second album called Koi, And I'm a DJ. You know, I hear her records in the club, so you know, I spin it in here and there. But what shocked me the most, VPR.
Do you like her music?
I don't hate her music. You know, she had a new single out with Metro Boomin that was featured on the Spider-Man soundtrack, and I quite enjoyed that record. So I thought it was, you know, she has room to grow, and she's growing properly. I feel like the spotlight is on her right now, and it's shining super bright, and they're just like, it's under a microscope with the way they nitpick everything with her. But
I mean, isn't that with every artist though at this point, especially with the whole like social media environment that we have going on? Everyone has an opinion, right?
Yeah. And
an expert on how to do things.
and the thing is that with the internet too, they pick and choose who they bully, kind of thing. So you know, I could look at the Lizzo situation and look at how they fat shame her and they skinny shame Coi Leray. But the reason I brought up Coi Leray, you see what I'm saying?
Completely different ends of the spectrum, and nobody is okay, right? Like, give me a freaking break. Come on.
So Coi Leray recently dropped the album, and she sold. Boozy made a comment on it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get that album so we could talk about it more next week. I can tell you my thoughts.
Boozy added at Coi Leray on Twitter, you know, Coi should have at least sold 100K in the first week. Nobody recent got more hits than her. Either this shit is rigged or celebrity kids just get hated on when it's time to swipe. Motherfuckers be hating straight up. My fam go through the same shit. We ain't stopping. So Coi Leray sold 10,000 records. Now VPR, I'm gonna bring up. She only, Okay, this is a second week right now, third week, so it's not going to go up from there really. But I'm going to present something quickly to you, VPR. This is where I get a little bit confused. If we look at Coi Leray's Spotify right now, VPR, I'm a numbers dude.
Yeah.
Her record, Baby Don't Hurt Me, we see the numbers. Look at that.
Yes.
And these are the 3 singles on her album right here. Players, Bops, Make My Day. Look at the numbers.
But this is what I'm talking about. Spotify is getting the money for those streams. You know what I mean? Now that we've moved into this, and with Coi Leray being signed, these deals are done differently. I guarantee you that the labels are still making money off those Spotify streams as well.
Well, yeah,
per cents.
I'm not even knocking that, VPR, but if one of those singles made up for half of the 10K that she sold on her album, and those, they have been streamed millions, hundreds of millions of times each single.
Yeah. Give me a break.
How is it making any sense? Make it make sense for me, VPR. I'm not knocking it that Spotify's taking money. All the other streaming platforms are taking money as well. But if she has this much exposure to get 300 million on one song, Players, and you couldn't escape that song for the last few months, even if you wanted to.
Right.
You hear it on the radio. You hear it for 30 seconds in the club.
You hear when you walk into the store.
You hear it when they remixed it with Busta Rhymes. You know what I mean? The record grew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It started off as corny and cliche, but then it grew on everybody.
Yeah.
But how does that not translate to sales? And I'm sitting here at VPR and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, internet virality, I would call it, doesn't converge or convert over to your record sales, and that shit just baffles my mind.
And that's why these artists need to take it upon themselves to strip their music off of these streaming services and put it directly on their website and let people purchase their albums and stream from their website and get paid completely. Own your own ISRC code. Okay, if you don't know what that is, look it up, because Spotify and all of these other streaming services own your ISRC, and they own basically your publishing without you realizing, because they're getting paid off of it.
So, and what I did also while bringing up those numbers, I'm like, all right, Coi to me is a bigger artist than said Lotto. If she just released that single with Cardi B, that is going crazy. Now, I looked at Lotto's last sales. Lotto was selling 44K last album. So it's not like the other female contemporary artists that are in the same genre as her are not outselling her, but just with not as much spotlight. So I'm trying to find a disconnect, VPR, of what it is with Coi Leray's rollout or the way her artistry is presented that people don't gravitate to, but they gravitate towards a single. So, you know,
it's weird. But I also think that it's problematic when you look at the fact that if people can find music to stream for free instead of having to purchase it, they're going to take that route, right? So there's so much black marketing of these albums, and you know, it all began with Napster, right? We blame you, Napster.
It started with LimeWire. Napster before LimeWire. You're right.
right. And LimeWire. LimeWire was next. LimeWire gave me so many spam viruses back when I was using regular PCs. You have no idea.
Kiana, you don't know. LimeWire has left me embarrassed as a DJ. I couldn't find certain records, right? And
Uh-huh.
it wasn't easy as to purchase it like it is today, guys.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting on there on LimeWire. I'm downloading it. Homegirl asked for Michael Jackson at her Sweet 16. Mind you,
Okay.
I'm young. I'm DJing. I'm doing my thing.
Mhm.
I pull up the song now. The song you have downloaded is caught in a class action lawsuit from LimeWire.
Oh
I'm like,
my
bro,
God.
loud over the speaker at this Sweet 16 for the special moment they had to dance VPR. I lowered my shades like this.
Oh my goodness. I cannot. No, they did not shout you out. Like he has.
Yo, so LimeWire has lived with me for years from that embarrassment. And
That's
I never pay them artists, man.
Right. Pay
Buy the single.
man. If you like their music and you call yourself a real fan, there's no reason that you can't contribute, because at this time, I mean, I remember back in the days, we used to stand online at Tower Records to get the new CDs and the new tapes. You feel me? Like it was nothing to go out and support that artist and buy the music. And it should, just because you don't have a physical album now doesn't mean that you can't do the same. You know
just because you brought it back to albums.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Flow Rider, guys. VPR, look at Flow Rider. Flow Rider don't drop an album ever. Or at least that I know of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They be like, welcome to Florida, some shit. Welcome Flow.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't want to know what he would name his album VPR. But like, I think, in my opinion, Coi Leray has to follow the same suit. You are lit. You are getting plaques for your records.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about the album. You know, certain artists are built for like the album body work, like a Nas. Yeah. I would even say a Drake, because he still has some of that, you know, essence in there, J. Cole's and stuff like that. Yeah. Certain artists are just dope at creating singles. Yeah. And I think Coi is really dope at just being the it girl and creating singles in that, that bubble, that pocket.
Not to mention, I fully believe that artists should be dropping single by single at this point. Everyone on the internet seems to have ADD, right? So if you give them too much, it's like going to a menu, right? I mean, going to a restaurant and you've got 800 items on the menu.
That's why I hate going to diners.
Oh my God. I don't know.
How y'all supposed to make all these things good? How you make Chinese food and then you go and make fried? I don't know, man.
Fusions, right? Like they're like, we have Italian, we have sushi, right?
Everything at night. How are you doing this?
We have all the things. So I definitely do agree with that, dropping the single. I definitely want to get Clowette's view on this as well. And I know that she is already here. So let's bring her up. Clowette.
Hey.
Can I hear you? It was supposed to be first. I'm so sorry, guys. I took you out of the wrong circulation, but we will get to you because we brought her up. I'm so sorry, Maisha.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to not sign on? I heard my name, so
No, it's okay. We called you up. It's all right. Y'all, I'm sorry. I switched the order, guys.
That's okay. I was all confused anyway. So,
girl, my brain. Okay, scrambled eggs.
I call mine the mom brain. Y'all give it the mom brain.
Yes, okay. And can we start with that, because I read that you're a mom of 8, which is rare, and as a mom of 6, I can connect with that. Okay. So I'm just like, wow, that's amazing. You're a singer, a songwriter. I'm sure a lot of people ask you, how do you balance it? I think that's a corny question. I actually want to ask you how you maintain your mental health.
Like, my mental health. That's a big area right there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's
jump in there, right? Let's get right into it.
Let me unpack that. So, that little question, that corny question you said, I do get that all the time, and my answer is the same all the time. They say, "How you do it with 8 kids?" And I say, "Do you have kids?" And they say, "Oh yeah, 2, or in your case 6." I say the same way you do it with them. Exactly. You know, it's just like, you know, I treat my kids like my limbs. You know, I say when I get in the shower, I don't say, I'm gonna wash a butt cheek and this arm today. You know, I'm gonna wash my whole body. And so they just come along with my life. They weren't planned. And, you know, well, I ain't gonna say they weren't planned. We were done at 4. I gotta find me a new plug, but until I found one, we were done at 4, but the TV broke. No, but we were done at 4, supposedly. And then, you know, I got 4 more blessings, you know, in times where, you know, death knocks at our door when we don't want it to. I kept being given life. So I have no complaints. So, you know, that's kind of just like a sum up of how I do it with 8 kids. Now, the mental health. Now, I'm gonna talk about, it's so many layers. I'm just trying to condense it as much as I can because I got the curse of Gab, y'all. But I recently experienced a tragic death of my only sister, which was my best friend, confidant, on suicide hotline, my second mind, my thought checker, comedic relief. She just happened to be my sister too. And you know, I've experienced some death, you know, in my family and from close ones, but it never closer than that one. And that spiraled me into an area that I didn't even know I was weak. You know, just even on a spiritual level, it showed me I had my sister in a place where she shouldn't have been in. You know, I couldn't even pray. Um, I just wanted, you know, I guess when I should have been praying, I would pick up the phone and call my sister. So I just wanted her, and I had to do a lot of reconnecting. And my sister, she had only one child, my niece. Her father was never in her life. I have my niece now. I got custody of her the moment my sister closed her eyes. And that has been, you know, that constant reminder. She's literally a clone of my sister in every sense of the term. And that has been, you know, that I think that taxed it too. Not in a negative way, but it ran a reel on my mental health. So when I thought I had it together, everything, I felt the weight of it when I started grieving. Because you know, grief is no joke. You know, you got to stay hydrated and everything else through that. And so I just found that I was always sane enough to know that I was crazy. So no, but I was always sane enough to know that I was slipping, and I was sane enough to know that I was hurting with a pain that I couldn't calculate, and I didn't understand it. I didn't know where to put it, and I didn't know how to transfer it. So because I was so aware, thankfully, I was so aware of my weak mental and emotional state, it made me want to keep it intact, because I knew that you can't afford to do a lot of stuff when it comes to kids. And one of the things is you can't afford to lose your mind.
That's right.
So
You can't afford to break down, right?
you can afford to, right? So I was like, I've been one day I'm gonna get me that nervous breakdown. I'm old, but I can't do it now. I can't do it.
And you don't even want that, right? At
No,
the end
I wouldn't even want you to
I
have
love the fact that you said
that was a bad joke.
yeah. Right. Right. We're not manifesting that. I love the fact that you said you had that awareness, right? Because that's so key. A lot of times people will be spiraling and suffering and not have that self-realization that they are doing so, you know.
Right.
So that's so important, you guys. And I ask you that because whether you have one kid or 8 or no kids, and you just have a lot of things going on in your life, sometimes you just really need to take a moment and step back and say, am I okay? You know, and especially when we're parents, we're so busy making sure everyone else is all right, right? There has to come a time where mom comes first, and it's not just wife and mom, but it's me, right? It's me and my mental health and my happiness, because that's going to be a reflection on everyone around me, you know.
Clowette, let me ask you, when you were going through that dark period of time, did you find like any moment to create music, or did you find any inspiration within those dark moments?
Of course. That's what my album was birthed from. That my album that I dropped May 9th, Happy Anyway. And that's kind of an ode to me deciding to survive and heal on purpose. My sister had everything to do with my music, with singing, every single thing to do with it. I'm not just like holding on to this idea and this memory of my sister to just like, you know, to gain this like interesting story behind me. Anybody who knows me know how connected we were with music. So I remember when she was leaving us on this side of eternity, because she was on life support for 3 weeks and we had to pull the plug. And I could not sing. I could not sing. I don't know why. My speaking voice was not hoarse or anything, but I tried to open my mouth and sing, and I couldn't even sing at her service. And I thought my voice had died with my sister. And literally a few months after she passed, I got straight up, and no exaggeration, I sat straight up and I just started singing. And I never stopped singing for that purpose from that moment. So like how people say they laugh to keep from crying, I literally was singing to keep from crying. And if you listen to my album, it's all in there, every area of it, because there's also extreme heightened levels of happiness and euphoria and grief, because people always talk about the agony and the the horrific part of death, but some people don't speak about that fire that it puts under you when you lose that person that invested in you, and they really already tied your shoes up for the race that you was about to run without them. And so all of that was in there too. And the triumph for that, I love you too. The triumph from that, um, all of that was up in that album. So yes, my album was birthed from that. Not only was my album birthed from that, I am also a published author and illustrator of my own series of whimsical children's books, but that was happening way before this.
Yeah.
And so I've, expounded on that. I have several more books coming out this winter. And then I also am an artist in many mediums. I paint, I draw, I sculpt, and I have a handmade art business that also was going on prior to my sister passing. But everything has just really been inflated by all of the, I guess my pain, I've been transferring it. I had to do something with it, or it would have consumed me and it would have killed me. And I'm still in it. I'm not out of it, but I'm aware. So much creativity that has been the main thing that has been the main thing that I think that has been happening since I decided to heal on purpose.
Well, I'm definitely proud of you for that, and congratulations, because I think sometimes it is so easy to kind of get caught up in the pain. But for me, like, I lost my father a couple of years ago and it hit me so hard, but then I started to gain an appreciation. And like you, grief wasn't easy for me because I'm surrounded by my kids, and the minute I start crying, they start crying. So to avoid that, just kind of keep my mood up. But I knew that I was feeling so dark, and I had to kind of transform that into a real appreciation for who he was in my life and to my kids and the moments that we had. And even like 6 days before he died, it was my son's birthday and he was here and we were having dinner and having fun. That was our last physical memory, and then after that night, he called me to thank me. And 6 days later, he was gone. So it's like, it gives you that realization and appreciation for who they were to you, who you were to them, right? I think that's why it's so important to let people that are in your life that you love, let them know that you love them, right? There's no shame in being like, I love you, I love you, I love you, because you never know when that I love you can be the last time. So tell your peeps that you love them. But I definitely want to delve into your musical journey, because I know that we have another guest coming in the next 10 minutes or so. Let's talk about your journey of Clowette the musician, because you are an artist in so many aspects of the word with your creativity. Where did your musical journey begin, and how has it changed to where you are now?
It began from childhood. I don't have any formal training. I didn't grow up singing in a choir. Everything that you hear is just completely raw and as is. And so my journey started young, again, with my sister, me and my sister. At one point, I wouldn't sing for anybody. I wouldn't even sing for my parents. We have 2 brothers. I wouldn't sing for anybody. Nobody even knew I could sing but her. And she created ways to like help me break those barriers. I was so shy to sing. Now you can't stop me from singing nowhere. I'll be everywhere singing. My kids be like, Mama, don't break it down in the grocery store like this, please. But at one point I was. Some people can't believe it because they know I don't mind. But at some point I was so afraid to sing. But it started from childhood. And I just I'm not, my husband is a musician. He's an extremely talented musician. He did most of the production on my album. He's a drummer, but he plays several instruments. And I don't play. I know how to play the snare drum. I was in a marching band in high school, but I don't play instruments. But surprisingly enough, I have an ear. Like, I have an ear for like, I don't know, that's the way my husband explained it. He'd be like, you got an ear. Like I should be able to play an instrument with how musically tuned my ear is, and not even just like the production. Like if something is a millisecond off or just something, the timing, I know it. And so I produce my own vocals, and I record my own vocals and all of that. Yeah, the journey, it started from there, and it just, my first record deal was as a teen with Warner Brothers. And I was young. I was a songwriter. I was as talented as I am now in songwriting and arranging and, singing and everything else I had to offer. I was a lot more attractive back then and all of that, but you were there.
You are beautiful.
I say you doing your thing right now. You doing your thing right now. You won't play. Don't shortchange yourself.
What do you mean?
Yeah, but I was just saying that to say I felt like I had a total package of really something valuable and worthwhile, and they were wanting to exploit me as a 15-year-old kid. They wanted to just sell sex. They wanted me to just show off my body. They didn't even want to expound on this empire that I could have been, in that light, but thankfully, my mom was able to kind of work me out of that one. I've since worked with so many great people within the industry. I consider myself kind of like an artist. It's a lot of people on the inside that know me very well. And then there's some people that don't know me, but I'm like probably 1 degree of separation from them. But I've just graduated and with my life, there was a time where I've never stopped performing and everything like that. Like I have a deal with the college out here where I live, and I do their, this end of the year celebration every year. They pay me for that. I would do festivals. I would do different things like that. But I've had times where it kind of like, went down a little. I was having babies, and everything else. But, but after my sister passed, of course, like I said, I went full throttle, not for any accolades, not for like, I know y'all say y'all numbers per people. If you go on my Spotify, my numbers is not like who you just was looking at. I am way.
We mean numbers matching up to numbers, right? So
yeah.
Giving,
like, got 3 million one place.
Don't match those sales. What's up with that? I mean?
But they got people can buy stuff now. I ain't gonna get into that. But I don't do
playlisting.
I don't do none of that. So my numbers just show for real. If it was 36 people listening, them 36 people was real, and I love all 36 of them more rather than buying some box or something. But
Clowette, all right.
Yes,
so I'm gonna ask you this: if you could explain the song "Greedy" to me in 5 words.
Have you heard it?
We're about to hit. I'll listen to it. We're about to listen to it right now after I ask you this question too, so the viewers can get that.
Okay.
Now, if you could explain "Greedy" to me, what is that song going? What is the song given for our viewers today?
So "Greedy" is given. The first of all, call a spade a spade. Your girl is greedy, okay? And everything that people that know me know that I am silly, and when I get sleepy, something else happened. I was sleepy when I was recording that song. Okay, it was a joke. Like my husband, had the beat up, and I was like, "Oh, let me put this on here. Let's do this real quick." We were laughing. I mean, I would have to stop recording. I had to no sound, laugh, all of that through it. So it's like for face value, but there's a underlying thing with greedy. So greedy is really about you being greedy with yourself, greedy with your time, with your love, with your self-care, if you need to be. And it's about getting what you want, wanting what you want when you want it. And it took me to go through like what I'm going through, like my grief process, for me to finally love myself. For me, I never really loved myself. Some things posed as love, but it wasn't. And it took me all of that self-care. Like I'm a mother for real, to where I didn't even have a self-care regimen, like with my cleaning my face or anything. I just get in the shower, whatever, go whatever. So now I have like self-care regimens, and I'm specific on, okay, this is it. At 9 o'clock, y'all get in the bed, whatever. My kids used to be up all time of night.
Right.
We be in the bed watching Avatar. It'd be the most. I have finally gotten to a point where I understand that self-care is not selfish. It is necessary.
Yep.
And and me just wanting what I want when I want it, and it's nothing bad, you know, being unapologetically happy. And that's what like greedy really is about. Like the underline of greedy is about. And then it's just about like being happy on purpose. Like man, we got so much to fight about. We got so much to be stressed out about. Like
That's
this
a
ain't
fact.
the season for that. Like it's the season for you just being happy, and you don't owe nobody no explanation for it. Either they get on board or they can.
You better speak
Tell
to
them.
our Clowette, because
Tell
listen,
them. They see you get on board.
fact,
Hey,
that is my vibration all day.
That's a
Time is
fact.
currency, and we do not give it away.
right.
Let's get into this record called The Greedy Guys. Check it out here on VPR Radio.
You stay on my nerves. Get on my face. Yeah. Just stop talking. Stop talking. Get on my nerves. Yes, you. I see right now. I'm gonna have to put you out. Put you out. Evict you out my heart and out my life. Yeah. I'm gonna have to put you out. Evict you.
Clowette, I'm loving
my
them
heart
earrings.
and out my life.
I made them.
Just not tonight.
I'm loving them.
You just called me shrimp and fries. You know I'm greedy, I'm greedy. And if you gon' keep on bothering me, you better give me something to eat.
You better fight that
life. You know I'm greedy, I'm greedy. And you don't give me something to eat. Get out of my life, my life, my life, my life. Get on my nerve, that drama, that shit.
And VPR, you know what I like the most about? We're only gonna show a small clip. You know what I mean? We can't give you the full sauce.
Oh,
If
I'm
you want the
about
full
to say,
sauce, you gotta go to
you
YouTube.
video. Wait a minute.
Oh, you
now.
sure?
Oh, let them go and watch and run those
We
numbers.
want them to run it up. We want them to give you the stream.
Y'all, and go and subscribe to her page. You know what I'm saying? Go and run her up. Go and subscribe to her on Instagram. Follow her everywhere. That's what we want. We'll give you a little taste, but you go and get that.
Clowette,
Right?
I see. I'm gonna just say, last week, me and Qiana got invited to a fetish event, right? Okay. So I got to sit there and see the behind the scenes of a photo shoot and to see how they capture these models and the clothing and how they broke up the pieces. Right. I'm watching your video. I'm loving the clothes that you have on. I'm loving how you're accenting that with the earrings. That's what I pick up on. And you're selling happiness and you're being you. Yes. You can see genuinely in the video VPR that she's being her unapologetically.
This, right? All of it.
I was. Let me tell y'all something. Listen, that place that I was at that let me film there, I gotta shout them out. They're called Monty's Good Burger. They're in LA, and they got a few chains there. They're a vegan restaurant. Like all of that stuff was completely 100% plant-based. So I was also low-key kind of putting something out there for our culture. Like I'm being greedy, but healthy too, you know, because right now I'm on this fully raw vegan, no all fruits and vegetables, only water. I've been on it for a month right now. I'm just kind of trying to reset, no diet, you know, I'm just trying to reset, you know. Yeah. And so that was another thing. So like people that kind of know about that chain, they support me with the video. Their food is like so good, but it's all plant-based. And I was being for real, because when I tell you that scene we had to do with that burger, I was like, can you hurry up with this scene? As soon as that scene was done, that burger was gone.
Okay. I love it. Please tell everyone where they can find you. I know you have a website, you got your Instagram. Drop all of your links for us, and then we're going to bring Jameelah and the crew up for the next interview. But it has been such a great pleasure.
I know this went long enough, y'all. Y'all got some short interviews.
We got to make more time.
We had a double header, but we're going to definitely bring you back for your full. You feel me?
Yes. They can find me at Clowette.com. My name Clowette, and that gives the links to everything. Thank you. Got my little plugs coming up there, but that gives you the link to everything. But my Instagram is at Clowette. My TikTok is Clowette Music. My YouTube is Clowette Glows. But it's like the links are everywhere on Clowette.com. The link is in my bio. You know, I wrote and arranged all my music, and I'm so glad that you paid attention to like the details of the costume, because I did everything by myself. I made my necklace, I made my earrings. My cousin, who was the like next leading lady in the video, I dressed her. I did everything on my own. I directed my own video. I just had a professional videographer, but I did it all on my own. My husband was my leading man. He's always my leading man in my videos because he's my leading man in real life. And you know, hey, I'm just so happy that you that you caught those details, because that was all me, and I just put my heart in every single thing.
We see that. It definitely shines through.
Clowette, we will definitely be adding that song to our VPR playlist. And now when I go get my food today, I'm going to have this song rent-free in my head, sitting there feeling unapologetic. It might not be vegan VPR.
No,
but it's going to be good.
Because at the end of that video, I said, when I talk about shrimp and fries, it's some shrimp and fries on there, okay?
Okay.
Check out the I have a remix to Greedy too that is on, what's not a remix, I call it the club mix. It's on the album, and it's crazy. It's with a live bass. Clark Sims plays live bass for a lot of people. It's like crazy. You got to go and check that out. And then it wasn't my first single, but I got another song that's on my album that was produced by DJ Jazzy Jeff and Carvin Haggins, which are both Grammy Award winning production team. And that was huge. That had me number 3 on the charts in the UK for a while, y'all. Okay. I gotta check that out. Y'all. Let's go. Put my music in your rotation.
We added it to the VPR playlist on Spotify. You will see it after the episode. I
want you to add it to the playlist wherever you be at too.
Oh, and I'm DJing later tonight, so say less. You gotta send me the single.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
We got it.
Say less. I'm a man of my word. I like that.
Facts.
Thank you. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much.
Keep your vibrations, babe. They're beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Talk to you soon. All
VPR,
right.
I still love what I do here. I'm just letting y'all know this because I'm just smiling inside right now. I got a big old smile behind these shades right now. I love it. I love what we do here.
So we have our next guest here. It is a duo of the Preschool Cypher. We have Jameelah and Blink's Love.
What's going on?
I don't know if their video is on at the moment. Jameelah, can you hear us? Can you see us?
Peace. I can see you.
Okay, great.
What's everybody doing?
How are you guys? Thank you for having us.
You're so welcome.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. All right, so we want to jump straight.
I feel like we are a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, you're a little like shaky.
Yeah, the audio, is a little bit shaky as well. But Qiana, you could kick it off because I have a video that I'm going to bring up for you.
Y'all got us, so I'm on.
You're already live,
well,
my dear.
Actually, I was saying we're recording right now for the Preschool Cypher. We're doing like a hip hop in the city, going at a lot of the major hip hop areas. So right now we're on Hollis, Queens. So I just stopped right now in front of the Jam Master Jay mural. And we grew up, Binks and myself grew up in Hollis, so this one is special.
Absolutely. So tell us about this. Tell us about the birth of the Preschool Cypher. When I first saw this, it reminded me of that one episode of The Cosby Show. Do y'all remember that? When they were in like pre-K or whatever, and the lady was like rapping like 1 + 1 is 2, right? And had all the kids going. I was like, this is lit. And this is so when Maisha brought this, I was like, yo, that took me back. And I was a child when I saw that, and I knew it was lit. You know what I mean? So I love what you guys are doing. Tell us about the birth of it and how everything is going.
Jazz, you want to do that?
Cypher, so the Preschool Cypher is a way to teach children preschool curriculum and content with hip hop culture infused. So I do know that children learn their environment, they learn, and they are attracted to what they recognize. And I wanted them to see themselves. I wanted hip to live through the youth. Right now, where it's really not only when I was growing up, diversity industry, but
your
now
audio is going in and out. Hold on one second, Jameelah. Your audio is going in and out.
I don't know. It's probably where I'm at.
Yeah, it's probably
maybe
the location.
Can take over.
Yeah, I was gonna say that because I think the connection it might be a little better.
Okay, and do you hear me good?
Yes, we hear you perfectly.
Okay, just to take off where she left off. So pretty much it's basically we teaching the children through music. And right now where Jazz is now, she's out in Hollis. We have 50 years of hip hop coming up. So we're doing a thing where with the kids, she has some of the kids out in New York, and then I have some here in Atlanta. So she's visiting all of the different, monumental hip hop sites. Where we grew up we grew up in Jamaica, Queens, Queens Village, Hollis, Queens. If you ride straight down, it's one strip where everything meets. So that's where we grew up at. Run DMC, LL Cool J, like everything like that. So Jazz is out there, and for the Preschool Cypher, we have the 50 years of hip hop coming up. Then out here in Atlanta, I have the kids. We're going to do the hip hop museum, TI's trap museum, trap museum with TI, and just all the different places. Outkast, Stankonia, the old house, the studios. We've been taking the kids out there to show them like where it really started, and that's a lot of what Preschool Cypher is about. Just where it started and bringing the kids back to that real love for music.
I'm glad you guys are doing this because I'm DJing every weekend, and as much as I love the Lil Uzi verse and the Drakes when they come up to me and they like Drake started hip hop, I'm like, what? I'm letting y'all know before I move to the next clip, guys. Every time during my set, depending on when you were born, I always say my 70s babies, my 80s babies, my 90s babies. I'm having to find myself saying, shout out to my 2000 babies. And when I hear them cheer back at me, because I'm old now, I'm looking at them like, we in the same club. We listen to this. But I definitely want to bring up a clip here of the Preschool Cypher. I've seen that you guys had it on YouTube. So I'm going to bring up a quick clip just so people can see a little bit, see what you guys do and your work right here. So let me find that clip for you. Let's do episode 3.
You ready? Okay. Start the day, start the day, start the day, start the day, start the day. Tell me.
This is fire VPR.
Start the day, start the day. Let's go. Yeah. Start the day, a new set of lessons. I'm alive, me and my blessings. This hip hop for the kids in the crew who rule with new rules in the hip hop school. Yeah. We could take it easy or we could do challenges. We take rhythm and poetry and balance it. All over the world, rap sisters and brothers. Here we live life out loud and bright colors, yeah. Mic check, many choices. What else? Mind control, move conscious. More create and music community. And what that means? We all MCs. Y'all ready? Let the cipher begin.
VPR.
Learn about art, and we're going to learn about love from a very, very, very special artist.
Hey, yo, Preschool Cypher, we have a special guest.
So today, our special guest is an amazing artist by the name of Uncut. He is so dope. Welcome, Uncut, to the site.
VPR, we definitely want you guys to go check out the full episode on YouTube. Type in the Preschool Cypher. They're doing amazing things. You know what I love about this? We grew up seeing Barney and things like that. We watching real hip hop right now. We're being educated in what we grew up in, and that's beautiful, Qiana.
I think it's so important, and it's not done enough. I can tell you the last time I saw anything even remotely close to this type of thing would be Yo Gabba Gabba when they had Biz Markie involved. You know what I mean? The DJ was the main guy. He used to walk around with his radio. In the suit. Yeah, right. And they really integrated that into the learning as well as like these life lessons that kids need to learn, because it's so much more than like ABC, right? It's like learning tolerance, learning to appreciate differences between.
Yeah, we're learning love. When have you went to school and anyone has ever told you, hey, let's learn about love?
Never. If they did that in preschool, it does not transfer on into first grade, third grade, seventh grade, right? So that messaging is so transformative, especially for our kids who need it the most, right? And to give them that idea of like hip hop integrated music into the whole.
I like the production, Qiana. I like the production of it. The music, the opening song for it. The production behind it is what is the value that I like. It's not just cheaply thrown together. No, it seems like it's treated with care, and that's what I like about it. the most.
Yeah, and you're teaching the children, and they're connecting on a soul level because this is something that it's ours, right? And it gives you a true appreciation. So what is next for you ladies? Like, what's the ultimate goal? Do you think you'll be able to bring this into schools? Like, I want this to
You should bring this to Netflix. You
That's
should
what
bring
I'm
this to everything. I honestly think you are on to something.
Right. This needs to be the next Sesame Street. You feel me? This needs to be something that interprets into our actual schooling.
Mm-hmm. A curriculum. You need to speak to one of our Congress leaders and be like, hey, you should look into this. Because I think you guys are definitely sitting on gold with this, and it's definitely going to reach a lot of children and parents, bringing them together within hip hop, because we got a negative image.
Thank you. Jazz, check and see how your sound is.
I think she's frozen.
She froze?
Yeah, she looks like she's frozen because she's been in that one position. There she goes. Now she's moving.
She's back. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we
Okay,
can.
sorry about that. Yeah, we're working hard on that. Season 2 is in post-production. We're casting for season 3 right now. So we're working on that, looking at different places.
FMI just put his hands up. If you missed that, he said,
"You need me to DJ a set? You need me to teach people how to DJ? I'm willing to. These hands work."
Yes, that would be dope. That would be
FMI.
dope. Yeah.
Yes, we would love that. Thank you. Absolutely. So yeah, just keep looking out for more in the fall. Season 2 should be launching, and we'll be ready for season 3 right after. So thank you guys.
And then we're casting now for season 3. So look out for that. We will have the casting calls, with the kids, and we'll have different children and things like that. So look out for that, guys. And DJ, yes, we will be hitting you up.
Yes, please.
Why aren't my kids small anymore? I want part of it.
I'm about to send my 11-year-old cousin to go do it. I'm about to say, hey.
I'm like, what little kids do I have access to?
Yes, any little kids, just send them through. When you guys see the casting call, just sign up and we'll get them in there. It's a joy.
Well, listen, make sure you get us the information. We will definitely post it on our page. We support you, ladies, 1,000,000%.
100%.
This is a fantastic movement that you're starting, because this isn't just a small thing. This is a movement, and it's going to grow. And I can't wait to see this in our schools. I want to see this in the curriculum.
Thank you. We receive all of that. All. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Please tell everyone where they can follow you and how they can access the Preschool Cypher.
All right. For me, you can follow me personally at Binky Says. It's just the way it sounds. Binky, BINKYSAYS. That's my personal. And then we have the Preschool Cypher Instagram, and then we also have the Preschool Cypher YouTube that just pulled up, that everyone saw. And on YouTube it is Preschool Cypher. Jazz, chime in for me real quick, because I want to make sure I'm getting everything.
Yes, that's correct. Also on all platforms, Preschool Cypher on Instagram, YouTube, and also Facebook.
Right, and Heaven's Girls. We also Heaven Girls ENT. That's the umbrella for everything. We also have that Instagram, right, Jazz, and Facebook as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And what's your personal, Jazz?
Jameelah Yasmin, all platforms.
Jameelah Yasmin, you guys. So make sure you follow them. Follow that Preschool Cypher so you can keep up to date. If you have little kids, check them out. That casting call is going to drop soon, so you might want to get them as a part of that. Listen, you're getting in on the beginning end of something that's going to be monumental. So we definitely applaud you for this movement, and can't wait to see how everything looks in Hollis and with the Trap Museum. I didn't even know that there was one. You got me ready to research.
Really? Oh my God. Yes.
We're out in New York, so for sure I'm in tune with that and a lot of things that's happening with hip hop, but I did not know about the Trap Museum. So you definitely just schooled me, boo. And thank you.
Yes. It's a big thing out here. It's a big thing.
Got you. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out for sure. And definitely when I come to Atlanta.
All right, thank you.
We appreciate you. Stay tuned. We'll definitely have you both back for a full episode. We had the doubleheader today, so it's kind of short, but we will have you back to talk more in depth about your seasons that you have going and your new one. And we appreciate you and wish you a very blessed and productive day ahead.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Wonderful
you.
day.
Peace.
Peace out.
You guys have a blessed day.
Bye, guys. That was great, FMI.
It really was. VPR, you have tuned in weekly and watched us just create this energy and this light that I would want. I hope you see a light when you see us, but
right.
I can't thank you enough. Shout out to all our viewers right now. Qiana, you have anything coming up in the week that you wanna just leave out there before we close out the show today?
I don't think so. I just want to encourage everyone to keep these vibrations. You know, the guests that we bring on here, they're human, right? They've endured grief. They've been through obstacles, right? And when you see the level of positivity and happiness that can thrive through all of that, that's what we want you to see. And that's what we're here to show you, that you can be born into nothing and grow into something, that you can transform your life from hurt to happiness, right? So if you felt that from us today, then we encourage you to just go forth and pay it forward with those vibrations, right? Like do something nice for someone, smile, give a compliment. You never know how you can affect people in their time of need. So just keep those high vibrations, and we're going to do the same. You already know this is your favorite Libra duo. This is how we roll no matter what we're going through. We come to VPR, and that everything just, high vibrations.
So with that being said, VPR, I will see you next week, same time.
Yes.
Y'all go out there and have a blessed day.
Yes. And thank you to our amazing guests. We'll see you guys soon. Ciao.
Later.